So it's the first week of January, and as you know, that's the time of year where everybody makes their resolutions and sets their goals. So with that in mind, I'm going to grab myself a cup of coffee and I'm going to tell you the top 5 bits of camping and backpacking gear that I'd like to get my hands on over the next 12 months. So I'm out for a little stroll along the Riverlin Valley today. You wouldn't think we're only 5 minutes away from the city centre. So the first 2 bits of gear on my wish list actually relate to what you've just seen. I would like to add to my cook and brew kit. As you probably know, I've already got far too many stoves, so I would like to get a Jetboil. I've never actually owned a Jetboil brand, and the one that I've been looking at is the Jetboil Minimo. It's got a 1 litre capacity, weighs in at about 350 grams or 14 ounces, something like that. What I like about this particular model is that it's got adjustable simmering. You can put a pot stand on it as well, so I can use a frying pan, something like that. So I think it's going to give me much more options than maybe just what you've just seen, like the storming cone. And to add to that, I want something decent for making coffee. So to improve my coffee drinking experience, I'd like to get my hands on an Aeropress Go. So this is a compact little system. So you put your hot water in, you press it through the ground coffee, then it goes through a filter, and then you've got some decent quality coffee while you're out in the woods or up in the hills. So the Aeropress weighs in about 300 grams, but it comes complete with cup, filters, everything you need in a compact little package. So it looks really good from what I've seen. So my first 2 items are the Jetboil Minimo and the Aeropress Go. So if you guys have got any other recommendations, or if you've used any of those items, if you drop me a message below in the comments and let me know what your thoughts are on them, I'd be really grateful. So before I move on to item number 3, I'd be really interested to know what's on your wish list. So if you drop a comment below, let me know what the number 1 item is that you want to pick up in 2020. So number 3 on the list, I'd like some new hiking boots. So these Salomon Quest GTX4, I think they are. They've seen better days. I've had them a couple of years and they've been really great boots. But on occasion now, when it's really wet, they do let a little bit of water in. But I don't find the grip on them very good at all. So when we've got really muddy hills, wet rocks, things like that, they tend to slip around a little bit. So I've done a little bit of research and I've been looking at getting a pair of Scarpa boots. So the ones that I've singled out are Scarpa Delta GTX. So they're a leather boot with a Gore-Tex liner. And they've also got a Vibram sole, which is much better for wet surfaces. The grip on those are really good. I have also shortlisted the Scarpa Terra GTX, but they don't look quite as rugged as the Delta. I think the Delta will be a little bit more rugged, would be ideal for some of the more rocky situations in the Lake District and the Peak District. But again, I'm very open to suggestions from you guys, so if you can think of anything that you think would be even more suitable, be sure to let me know. So the 4th thing on my wish list, it's a little bit expensive, this one. I'd like a Garmin Inreach Mini. So this costs about £250 and you've got to have a monthly subscription with it as well. So it's not a cheap item, but I think it's something that could be a lifesaver. So I think it's worth having in your pack or strapped to your rucksack when you're out in the middle of nowhere. So the Inreach weighs about 100 grams and it allows you to communicate anywhere on the planet. So you don't need like a cellular connection. It uses satellite. So as long as you've got line of sight, you should be able to send messages or an SOS to emergency services if you need them. You can also connect to your smartphone and you can download waypoints to it, so you can use it for navigation to wherever you've plotted your route. So it's a really rugged bit of kit, which is also waterproof, so it should be able to stand up to all the elements. You can also set it up for tracking, so your family or your loved ones can track your progress so they know where you are. But the main thing for me is just to be able to send a simple text message to Jo saying I've got there safely. There's been many times that I've not been able to get any reception on my phone, so she's not known whether I've got there or not, and understandably it can be quite worrying. It's a great bit of kit just for peace of mind more than anything. My only concern about the Inreach is that it's a big investment for something that you might never really need to use that much. So if any of you have got one, please let me know if you think it is good value for money. So we're finally at number 5 on the list. My last bit of kit is actually cheating a little bit, because it's 2 bits of kit that makes up one system. You may have seen on some of my other videos that in the colder months I wear Paramotor jackets. They're Nick Wax directional waterproof, so the way the fabric works is it pumps out any water from the inside and pumps it to the surface. It's a really efficient and breathable waterproof shell. I really love their jackets, but the only issue I found is that other than the winter, they're just far too warm for me. But after a bit of research, I found that they now do a duology system, which is a 2-piece layering system, which comprises of a showerproof fleece and a windproof outer, which when it's combined provides you with a fully waterproof system. So the 2 items that I've been looking at are the Paramotor Ostrow fleece and the Ostrow windproof shell. So the windproof shell only weighs something like a couple 100 grams, packs down really small, but the Ostrow fleece is also Nick Wax coated. So this means that it's showerproof and very breathable. But when the heavier rain comes down, you just combine 2 items together and somehow it gives you a fully waterproof system. But because this is a 2-layer system, I can swap layers out, I can remove one, I can swap it for another one. This means that I can control and regulate my body temperature much better with this system, which makes it perfect for 3-season use. The Paramotor gear is quite expensive though, but it's definitely good value for money. The 2 jackets that I've got at the moment, I've had 7 and 8 years respectively, and both still work perfectly well. Because of the way the technology works, if you get a little tear in it, you can just sew it up. Really good bits of kit. It must be good because even the mountain rescue teams use Paramotor jackets. So that's the end of my wish list for 2020, guys. Can you believe there's no tents on it? But seriously though, I think I've got most of the gear that I need now. I just need to get out and use it even more. I'm not surprised to see there's another stove on the list. I think I've got a bit of a problem when it comes to stoves. So don't forget to let me know in the comments below what's on your wish list. If you've got any of the items that I want, or you want to buy them for me, please let me know your thoughts on them, or if you've got any other alternative suggestions, and I'll see you in the next video.